I was on the fence with this game. CROSSOUT from Gaijin Entertainment. They do War Thunder. They've been around since 2005. They've been spending 10 years working on the Dagon 3D engine. It's cross-platform. So they got a ton of experience. I was on the fence with it because there's the old Robocraft meets Madmax comparison. And I think when you come into a game with a comparison, in some aspects, you're going to be disappointed because it's not going to be that game. So I wasn't sure I wanted to spend $30 to be disappointed. And the other aspect was the comments in Steam were like, the biggest complaint was seal clubbing and matchmaking queue times. And if you come from Robocraft, which I'm not going to mention too much more because I'm just sick of hearing the comparison, you're going to know that queue times and things of that nature are frustrating. Spending 5 minutes playing a game that's going to last you, if your team's no good, it might last you 30 seconds. So this game has some of the issues people complain about, but I think overall the complaints are very, very unfounded. I've enjoyed the game quite a bit. I've had 0 crashes to desktops, even while frapsing or recording. I've had no issues with frame drops. I've had some issues with texture loading is the issue I think is going on. And I have a 4 gig card. It's not using all its capability whatsoever. I got a 4 gigahertz 8-core AMD, FX. It runs fine. I don't have any problems with that. 16 gig of high-speed RAM, and it's an Asus motherboard, so I have no problems. Now, I don't run an SSD, so maybe if I had an SSD, I wouldn't get that texture problem. Other than that, the game's very solid. So if you have a decent build, I don't think you'll have any issues. This game is currently on max settings, and on low settings, to be fair, they were not disappointing. The low settings were perfectly acceptable. Factions is an aspect you won't see in Robocraft that was added to this. This game also has a market, and it has an exhibition, which are 3 substantial differences to Robocraft. Factions is a big deal, and if you want to just cut to the chase, go into a faction, check out what you think is cool, hit the thing that you're interested in, and then go to test drive. And then immediately you're allowed to just go test drive it. It's quite simply a very ingenious, liberal use of client-side testing. This is really great. It allows me to check my vehicle out. So, yeah, not good. Not so good for that guy. Anyway, so check them out. Go to the factions and see what they're capable of doing. There's substantial differences in them. I like the fact that some of them are like heavy armor tank style factions, and some of them are crazy psycho suicide factions, And I haven't really gotten to know the game very well at level 6. I'm a noob. I'm just doing a quick review on this, trying to keep it under 10 minutes. And it's a by the way, all-in-one take video here, and so just bear with me. So anyway, Factions is really nice. It allows quite a bit of depth to this system. Whether or not I think it's something I'm going to like down the road, I'm not sure. So for right now, though, it's really intriguing, and the fact that you can test drive things it's so quick and fluid. I really hope they keep that. Definitely keep that in the system, because I don't want to work a faction that I don't like. All right, so that's enough about that. Go to markets, and then you check out the rare items and common items and so forth. And then you can also just check out everything and find out, what's available. And you can see what's hard to get and what's easy for you to purchase. I have 2,000 credits. I haven't spent any of them. I was able to get to level 6 without getting clubbed like a seal. Or I experienced one queue time issue when I disconnected. I disconnected from a match, and then I did some customization on my vehicle, and I went to go back in, and I was experiencing the queue issue. But I think I deserved that. I disconnected in a match. Tough luck for me. I shouldn't have disconnected. At the end of a match, you'll have an option to go to your garage. When I go to the garage, like it expects you to do, I don't end up with too many queue issues whatsoever. Maybe when I get to the higher stuff, the tiers, and start running the higher levels and start running raids, I'll probably experience that quite a bit. But this is closed beta, and the population is going to be quite different when it goes to open, I'm sure. Anyway, so there's your parts available in market. I've heard people say they make $2,000-$3,000 a day in this market, so that might give you an idea of what you're capable of earning. I'm not sure what the maximum you can charge for something is, or the minimum. I hear there's some governing factors in the game, so the market just doesn't let you do whatever you want. So, check it out, see what you think. You don't always make money in it, but a lot of people say this is where you are going to make your thousands. Next thing I want to show is just storage tab up there, and you go and check out what you have. You can actually go to Fusion and mix things together, do some upgrading options. It allows you to do some upgrading. So anyway, some thoughts put into that. Market system, the faction system, and the exhibition system. The store is real simple. You just go and you can purchase something. I don't know that any of this is really necessary. You can get access to parts before you're probably leveled. It's supposed to be getting them. But other than that, there's not a lot to this. I think this is overhyped. I don't really care. I've test driven most of these vehicles, or variants of them. And they're great vehicles. They're well designed. I appreciate the fact that they're making stuff, but I don't think that they're game changers. But your results may vary. Exhibition was the other thing I wanted to show real quick. We'll go to all-time favorites and go to this thing's pretty crazy. Buldozer, I guess, was made by Olive Macaroon 44, and you can test drive that right away, which is nice. You can see what people are doing. Making or creating or whatever, stuff you might be interested in, and you can just test drive it. So, see how effective it is. We'll drop some bots down real quick. Yeah, they don't really stand. It's funny, that truck, I made that truck out of the one you get when you buy in, just extended the bed a little bit. But it's funny how much that changes the game. Just insane. First of all, I don't know many people that would headlong charge into this thing. But if you do, you're gonna die. So, pretty cool item. Good job there, Olive Macaroon. Nice thing. Nice death machine. Up here is one other thing. Real quick, people kind of complain about this vehicle. This is the Lord of Storm by Burkut 31. And you test drive it. Just drop the bots immediately. So I think he was one-shot right there, yeah. There you go. That's a demonstration of how not to use scorpions. So anyway, cool weapon. So I think it's really different from Robocraft, and if you go through and check it out for $30, it's well worth it. It's a fleshed out game. Gaijin seems to be doing their homework. You can check out the clan leaderboards. They have clans. I don't know how deep these clans go, but I would imagine there's quite a few people playing this game at this point. You got your daily kills leaderboard, so forth. Sky Dragon, and then let's see who total kills is. Beck D, all right. So anyway, you can see there's people playing. It has quite a few other things to do besides just craft robots and go out and fight. You got friends you can add. There's in-game chat, and there's clans. There's squatting up. So I think they've fleshed it out enough that the open beta is going to be worth getting into for sure. And as far as closed beta participation, they're going to reset this on, not sure when. I think there's a rumor it's the 22nd. of September. But either way, I bought in, don't regret it. Even if it goes to open beta, I get to start with the parts I purchased, and it'll be kind of nice to just kind of roll out the door with a decent ride. And anything you buy, of course, it's going to be destroyed by something better that's crafted, and I think that's really great. As normal, the game should focus on that. You should always be able to craft something that's better than what's purchasable. But anyway, my take on it is it's definitely a 5-star game. This is a threat to Free Jam's game for sure. I would say that if you're an old school Robocraft player and you miss Megabots and Tiers and all that, you've got Leviathans unlocked at 17. You've got all kinds of raid capabilities and different options going on with Leviathans in the game. You can actually create robots that will be facing other people in the game and their missions. So just a lot of potential here. If they don't go off track with what they're doing, this is probably the future building, crafting, drive, and destroy game for sure. And the Mad Max feel, yeah, definitely feels like Mad Max. The maps, they need to get some more maps out there. I hope they do at least 10 maps, 15 maps. You need to really get aggressive on that. These companies are releasing these games that are great, but then they don't release any like maps for them, and it just gets frustrating. You get bored after a while. You can't sit on your butt after you make these games and not add any maps. And I could care less if you're adding more colors and more different parts to create pixel art things. I don't really care about that. You've got to have good combat mechanics, which this game has. You have to have good sound effects, which, believe it or not, I think add to the game quite a bit. Phenomenal soundtrack in this game. Probably needs a little bit more hard rockin' in-game music, but for the most part, it's really a great soundtrack, good sound effects, performs well. And I'll leave it at a recommended game for sure. So thanks for watching, and I'll do a next video on my 10 favorite exhibitions I've seen so far. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and run out and get the game as fast as possible. Take care.